The LNER J50s were built at Doncaster Works from 1913 to 1940. And all of them had their trademark sloping side tanks by their boilers. These odd-looking tank engines were owned by the Great Northern Railway at first and were classified as J23s, but after grouping, they all became part of the LNER and were reclassified as J50s. A total of 102 of the engines were built. The people on the railway would often give the J50 tanks the nickname submarines, because of how long and odd their tanks were. Many of the J50s were allocated to the eastern regions of the LNER. But by the start of the 1960s, some were used for shunting at stations close to King's Cross. The engines were meant to be a replacement for the struggling J7 class tender engines, which were, at the time, having trouble handling heavier goods work on the graded main lines. Sir Nigel Grizzly had the J50s fitted with those sloping tanks so that the crew in the cab could see ahead of the engine through its circular windows. An LNER J50 tank weighs 56 tons total. They needed to be heavy and chunky so that they could haul heavy coal or goods trains along branch lines or main lines. The J50 tanks had a top speed of 45 miles per hour. While most of them were built in Doncaster, 2 batches of them were built at Gorton in Manchester. But, as always, all of the LNER J50s were withdrawn from service, and all of which were completely cut up and scrapped, and sadly there are none of these in preservation. Here is what an LNER J50 looks like in reality. I really wish one of these was still around today. It would have been nice to see one of these running on one of those heritage railways.